Hi folks, I've just had to rescale some of them pictures, or a picture for the carvings, so I thought I'd show you how I did that. It might be useful to you. The program's called GIMP, it's free, so you know, if you're getting into this sort of thing, then it might help you, you know, scaling your drawings to what size you want. Also at the end there's a little bit where we went to a friend's farm yesterday, just popped in to see him as we were out doing some other stuff, shopping and that. We had to go past. That's a nice place. Anyway, I'll get on with it. There's also a bit of laying out. Always read description below and it'll sort of give you a good idea what's in the video. Nice to be nice. I've got to rescale this, yeah. Now, like I said before, that's the, well, that's not the size, but I've got to make these two the same size. Now, on this picture where I scaled them all down, yeah, as you can see, I just directly copied and pasted these onto them and scaled them to what I want. This back sheet's an A4, I'll show you how to do that. This program's called GIMP. It's a free Photoshop if you want. It's like Photoshop. And GIMP 2. But you can download it for free and use it to do whatever you want with pictures. Now obviously I'm going to try and make my ass smaller, or this ass smaller. Now I've took this tool, crop tool, remove edges of areas, yeah. So I have to crop it to the size of the box and then hit return. Now what I'm going to do is copy that, edit, copy, and I'll open up a new sheet, file, open, new, that's what I want, new. Right, it says image size. I'm going up to templates here because I've got an A4 printer and I like it on I'll put it on A4, and I want the scale in millimeters, yeah, which will show in millimeters here, because when I paste this onto here, paste, you can see how small it is, yeah. Now I've got to scale it, which scale tool. Oh, what I did do wrong there, reset that. Here is two little links of chains, yeah, and put them together, because then whichever way I scale it, it'll always stay in the actual original scale where it's in, as in direction. If I leave that open, I could bring that up, or I could bring that across and it'd be long and thin or tall and thin, whereas now them links are together, it links both. Now if I go back to this picture, just look at it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yeah, so that's 70 centimeters across, millimeters across, and it's 1 2 3 4.5 I. So if I go back now onto this, because you can open multiple things and drag them all in, or well, copy them and drag them all in. So now when I go to this to scale, I know that the width is 70, yeah, or around 70. So if I go back up there like that, 70.19, go down 169.17, that's near enough, you know what I'm saying? That's like 0.19 of a millimeter. So then I click on scale. Now that piece will match in size on that piece there, and that's what I need. Now what I'm going to do, because I've got a couple of copies of that, and you always need more than, I find I always need more than one copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Oh, wait a minute, just put it on move, edit, copy, edit, paste, And then if I mess up, I've got a few different copies. Now that should then match up with my other piece that I've already got. Yeah. And then I go to print it. Like I say, that now matches with that. That's 70 high. That's near enough. I don't need that piece anyway. But that now, the height on that's 70 will match that. Whereas when that doesn't match that, if you're doing a carving and try and cut it out, you're not gonna get what you need. It's gonna turn out like a mutant. But I hope that helps. And now I'm going back to cut these out on the chainsaw, the bandsaw. So guys, a bit more on this scale, not just scaling, but marking out. Like I said, this wood, it's not particularly cheap for a block, right? And there's a bit of a cup in it, but it's not a bad thing. It's not totally the end of the world. But when I cut these, I want the grain going that way. Yeah. So that's the direction of the grain. And whatever I've got here, that one's not right. These are the correct. Yeah. That's not. Sorry. But they're correct to match with that one. Now, I want to get as much out of this wood as I can, right, as you do. So I'm going for my tallest figure plus a centimetre. The donkey's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. That's 4. So I'm going to go minimum 5.5, 5.5. 55, sorry, down here, yeah, and that'll just give me a bit of wiggle room, and when I stick it on wood, I'll have about that much space on the wood, but that lets me get in to areas a bit better. Obviously that's absolutely on it, so, and I need to put it back together again to do second cut, if you know what I mean. So what I'll cut that one out from top first. That'll be my first cut, and then that'll be my second cut, as it's more complicated to put back together. But I say I want to be as economic as I can with this. Minimum sort of size I want to go for the little figures. If I'm doing little figures, I still want an inch, around an inch. So 2.53 centimetres, so that the figures are in proportion. Well, minimum an inch, that's what I'm saying. They can always be in proportion lengthwise, but depending what you've got here. At a 5 there, and I can get any other pieces out for other stuff, you know. I mean, I've only got, on this piece, I've only got the ox. I've got another little piece for the crib, although like I said before, that's very small. Might have to stick that down to carve out it. I've only got the ox and the donkey to get out of it, so if I cut that off 5.5 there, I'll get the ass and the donkey out of it, and I'll have some more wood for other figures. But I've always got to remember which way my grain's running. Something else I forgot to mention, this piece of wood's not square. I have marked it up, and we've got to go another 5mm. So after I square it up, and I'm cutting to that line from this side, yeah, because you're going to lose 3mm on cuts. So it's just how it works out, but trying to get as much out of my wood as possible. I'll get the 2 blanks out of the width and see what's left after that. We're just up at a friend's farm, and yeah, it smells of pigs.
Yeah, but they're super cute.
Hello, Porky. Sausages. Hello, Porky.
Pokey, he's recording on his phone. I started here because
These are not the people's, the renties. Yeah, come out for it anyway, they look a bit panicked. But these belong to a farmer. He raises them here to keep some warm in here, and then they go out to market after. But there's a few in here. I would say there's
There's all these barns back there. There's
Yeah, there's about 150 piglets here. Hello, fellas. Hello, Bacon.
One looked.
Yeah, Bacon.
You.
Roast pork.
You're so rude. I'm literally holding my nose.
Yeah, they're a little bit. They smell like pigs, see?
I need to get out. But it's working here.
These are, well, that is one of the chickens that I hatched.
Yeah,
People. There's a couple more over there. Unfortunately, out of 4, I think 3 of them were cocks. She's give one away.
I remember
2 of them were cocks at least. But she gave one of cocks away to a neighbour. This is nice, isn't it? It's right on its own with the fields.
Wait.
You do it. Dr. Dolittle. You're talking to the chicken?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said hi.
Okay. Dr. Dolittle or Dr. I didn't do it. Not Dolittle, it's I didn't do it, it wasn't me. It's a big old place. I know she owns some of this land. I don't know how much of it. Some apple and fruit trees up there. Plum and cherry. Now she don't work this herself. She rents all land out. Well, she can't work it herself. So, but nearest neighbours are over there. Look, nice. I've got space jealousy. It's a big old place. They've got barn. Kids in there. They've got a trampoline in barn and all sorts. Like kids can play. That's probably the nearest neighbour there, just off a hill. Sheep down there. Over the brook. Sure there's gold in there. Can't help myself, can I? And if you're still here, thanks to subscribers, new and old, like your comments. Please drop a comment in. I did manage to cut the ass out. Jumpy. I did manage to cut that out. And I've marked it out where I've got to cut it out. It comes out quite a strange shape, but when I do start carving this, I'll show you what I mean by how that works out if you've never worked from this way before. I'm quite new to working like this, but you have to understand where the bits have got to come off and what you've got to leave on. But even using the graft drawings, you can stick them on and use it and just chip without using a bandsaw. You don't need a bandsaw. It does help, but you don't need one at all. Nice to be nice.